Everyone, it's Rabbi Shmuel Pollen. I hope you're doing well. We're doing Kabbala Class number 14, and I'm going to be reading a little bit here because this is a very complicated chapter, and we're just going to take it slow, and I hope you all understand it. So this chapter talks about the inclusion of the Sefirot into the other Sefirot, the light of one going into the vessel of the other. So we have these 10 levels, starting with the Keser, which is the I want this because I want this, then going to the Chachma, the wisdom, let me get a good picture of what I want, and then Bina, let me analyze what I want, then Das, let me focus on what I want and become sensitive to it, then have all the emotions, and then have the action, and finally in the last level called kingship. So there are 10 of these spheros, and you're probably most familiar with Chesed and Gevura, which are the kindness and severity, which is how much you like something and how much you hate it. So they're opposites, they're love and hate. But really, each one has a bit of the other one. So even if you love someone, you don't love them infinitely. So there's a certain point at which you actually don't like them, you actually hate them, because that's mixed in there with your love. There is a certain limit, and be like, beyond this point, I don't love this person. I'm not gonna get cookies for this person at 3 a.m. when they wake me up. Maybe if you do that, that's a good thing, but it's not an expected form of love. So you would actually hate doing that. So your love lasts until a certain point, and then you have some severity in it. So you have a mixture of the kindness and the severity. Then you have love within the hate. So even if you're really mad at her and you're in a fight, you don't usually want to kill her. That would be very extreme. So there's a certain level beyond which you are not mad at her. There's some love there. Some love remains. Because even in your most hateful moments, there is some love because you're not doing the worst to her. So in every hate, there is a little bit of love, and in every love, there is a little bit of hate. And in every victory, there is a little bit of anxiety. In every anxiety, there's a little bit of victory, and so on and so on. All these sfirot, these levels, include one in the other. Each one exists in the other one, just like from water droplets comes lightning, comes fire. So even in the water, there's a little aspect of fire, and even in the fire, there's a little aspect of water, like in the Challenger shuttle launch, which failed. It created a water cloud because the jet fuel has the same chemical composition as water, minus a little bit of oxygen, and somehow it made like water out of the fire. So like water makes fire, fire makes water. Each one has a little bit of the other one. But there is another way that these 10 sefirot include one in the other. It's a much more powerful way. It's something that you can really take with you to have an awesome life. The way that's super powerful is only used by people who are in incredible control of themselves, and they know how to use these character traits for the biggest advantage for you. So this would be like a spy. So the spy goes ahead and becomes really friendly with the enemy in order to get all his secrets and then eventually turn on him and kill him. So it's the lights of love, because he's showing love, but it's the vessels of hate. He actually hates him, and that's what he's actually going to do. He's going to act hateful in the end. So it is the light of kindness because he's being kind, but it's in the vessel of hate because he's being hateful. And this is much more powerful than just being straight hateful. Somebody who's just straight hateful will not totally screw over a guy. He will wind up in a fight with a guy, and maybe one will win, maybe the other one will win, but it's compromised. It's not as powerful as including one light in the other vessel. So another example of this is the Bible says that God revealed himself to the camp of Sancheriv, who was an enemy of the Jewish people. And because God did that, because he revealed himself, and in such an incredible way, he actually destroyed them. So when God reveals himself, the religious people celebrate. But when God reveals himself, the atheists are destroyed. Their ego is wrapped up in their opposition to God. That's who they are. It's their deepest desire to oppose God. And when God is revealed right in front of them, they become nothing. They become destroyed inside. So let's talk about the opposite way. Let's talk about the light of hate in the vessels of love. That is like your personal trainer yelling at you. Give me one more. Give me one more. You can do it. It's hate. They're really in your face. They're really telling you what to do. They're being commanding. They're being demanding. But it's going to get you the body that you want. And the whole concept of no pain, no gain means you have to go through some hate to get to the love. You have to go through pain to get to the gain. So I hope that makes sense. This is probably the most difficult chapter in the book Shahar Yichud of the Mittler Rebbe, the Gate of Unity. And I'll see you in the next module. God bless.